So today we are going to discuss the magnetic field due to a current carrying circular loop. So first of all we will see what is the pattern of magnetic field lines due to a current carrying circular loop. See, as you can see in the figure, this is the current carrying coil, and in the current carrying coil the current is entering from this positive terminal and it is returning back from this negative terminal. Now if we consider this as a small conductor, in that case the magnetic field lines will be circular, as you can see, concentric circular. So as we will move towards the center, the circle size of circle will increase more and more. Same way here, if we consider a very small conductor, if we apply right hand thumb rule, according to that the magnetic field lines over here are circular. So as we will move towards the center, in that case the magnetic field lines, they will move far away from the conductor. As a result, we can see at this center magnetic field lines from the left side it is coming out and from the right side it is entering. It means one part of the coil will behave like a north pole and from the other side it will behave like a south pole. The conclusion is that the magnetic field lines are in same direction, due to which the strength of magnetic fields increases. Now here, with the help of an activity, we can see the pattern of magnetic field lines due to a current carrying circular loop. So suppose this is a current carrying circular coil which is made up of copper. This coil is connected with conducting wires, a key and a battery. Now when the current is passing through this, you can see the direction of current will be anti-clockwise from right hand side. So when the current is passing, we can consider this as a small part of the conductor. So here we are considering it as a straight conductor. In that case, the magnetic field lines, you can see these are over here in form of concentric circles. Okay. So we can apply right hand thumb rule and you will see here, over here nearer to A, it is concentric circle. Same way at B part, current is coming up. Okay, it is moving up. So if we consider it as a straight conductor, so over here you can see the direction of magnetic field lines, they are concentric circles. So all over the pattern of magnetic field lines you can observe that we have drawn. Through activity we can also find that. Now we are going to discuss about the strength of magnetic field. How does it vary with distance, with current, with number of turns? So here we start. See, there are some factors that magnetic field produce that they loop. It depends on that. At the center, first thing, magnetic field that is directly proportional to the current passing through the coil. Okay, so we can write the magnetic field at the center of the circular coil is directly proportional to current passing through it. First one. Then second thing, magnetic field at the center of the coil is inversely proportional to the radius of the circular loop. If radius is more, less magnetic field will be there. If radius is less, then magnetic field will be more. Now, next one. Here you can see the number of turns in coil. Number of turns in the coil circular loop, that is 1. So the magnetic field lines or magnetic field at the center also depends on the number of turns which are present in a coil. So all over, if we say the magnetic field is directly proportional to number of turns, current passing through the coil, and inversely proportional to the radius of the coil. So once again, in short, we can brief it out like this. The magnetic field at the center of a circular coil that increases when the current flowing through the coil increases first. Second, increases as the number of turns of the coil increases. Third one, it will decrease as the radius of the coil increases. Now we are going to discuss about the solenoid. See what is actually solenoid. From the figure here, it is very clear what is a solenoid. See, this is an insulating substance or insulating material, insulator. And on this insulator, we have circular coils, okay, which are wrapped in such a way that it is forming a helical coil. So what is solenoid actually? A coil of many circular turns of insulated copper wire wrapped closely in the shape of cylinder is called a solenoid. Now in this diagram, a solenoid is there that is connected with a battery, a key. Now we are going to discuss about the pattern of magnetic field lines which is developed in solenoid when the current is passing through. So here we start with the over here you can see in this diagram, if solenoid, if current is passed through that, if we on this switch, then current will pass. So when the current is passing through it, one side, suppose if we talk about right hand side, the right hand side over here will behave like, you can see current is what, anti-clockwise, so anti-clockwise will form north pole. And if we see from the left side, the direction of current over here, it is clockwise. So if it is clockwise, so it will form south pole. So when the current is passing from a solenoid, as you can see, if observer is towards right side, it will form north pole here, and over here at X side, means left side, it will form south pole. So the pattern of field lines will be similar to the bar magnet. Outside, the field lines will be from north pole to south pole, and inside it will be from south pole to north pole, as you can see. Same way here in the lower side, the field lines outside will be from north to south pole, inside from south to pole. So in this way we can form the patterns of the magnetic field lines because of a solenoid. It will be more clear with the next example, students. So here we can conclude that it will behave like a bar magnet. Now over here, this is the actual pattern of magnetic field lines. Now over here in the solenoid, the left part of solenoid is behaving like a south pole, and right part is behaving like a north pole. So as I told you in the previous example, field lines you can see are coming out of the north pole and they are entering in the south pole outside, and inside it is from south pole to north pole. And the pattern is similar in above the solenoid and below the solenoid. one thing you can observe over here inside the solenoid. Okay, remember that inside the solenoid, if solenoid length is not very large, in that case the magnetic field will be uniform. Okay, the magnetic field B will be uniform in nature. So you can see the magnetic field lines are equidistant over here inside the solenoid. So it is uniform magnetic field. Since it is very important in the board, they usually ask these magnetic field lines diagram in 3 marks. We have done about the circular coil. Here it was solenoid. So these are asked in the previous board examination. You must focus on that, and again you must practice to draw the pattern of magnetic field line. Now over here again we are going to discuss about how the magnetic field in a solenoid depends on the number of turns, strength of the current, and also the nature of material which is present inside the solenoid. So here we start. The first factor which we are going to study, that is the current. So remember that at the center of a solenoid, the magnetic field will be directly proportional to current passing through the solenoid. It means more is the current, more will be the magnetic field at the center. Here with the help of this figure you can see initially if there is no current. Okay, you can see key is open, so magnetic field is not there, needle is not deflected. But when the key is pressed over here, suppose we press the key, now the current will pass through it and there will be deflection. So it is clear that there was no current, no magnetic field. Now current is there, it means current has increased from 0 to I, so there is magnetic deflection in the compass netting. Now second factor which we are going to discuss, that is now it is repeated one same. You can see if we are increasing the battery. In first figure it was 1 battery, now there are 3 batteries. So the current in second case will be more as compared to first one. So obviously the deflection in second case will be more as compared to first one, which clearly shows the magnetic field is directly proportional to amount of current. More is the current, more will be the magnetic field inside the solenoid. Now second thing, the magnetic field strength inside the solenoid, it also depends on the material which is kept inside the solenoid. So over here you can see a soft iron core. If it is introduced in a solenoid, then the magnetic field strength will also increase. So over here, see, this is a solenoid, and inside the solenoid initially it was air. So you can see the number of magnetic field lines inside are only 4. But over here, when an iron core, soft iron is introduced, okay, when the soft iron is introduced, now the more number of magnetic field lines will pass through it. It means intensity of magnetic field inside as well as outside the solenoid will increase. Okay, so conclusion is, if there is a medium like soft iron inside the solenoid, the strength of magnetic field is going to increase. Now, the next topic is force on a current carrying conductor kept in magnetic field. So, first we will see one activity 13.7. Now, in this 13.7 activity, you can see the AB is this AB is a current carrying conductor. So over here you can see this AB. This AB is a current carrying conductor, and the current you can see is flowing from D to A. Right? This is kept between north and south pole of a horseshoe magnet, and this is freely hanged. Remember that. Over here you can see this rod AB, current carrying conductor, is connected with wire to keep a cell or battery, and it is attached with the strand. You can see over here. Now it was observed that when the current is passing through it, when key is pressed, current will start passing through the conducting wire, and as it is kept in magnetic field, it is moving towards the left side. Okay, this arrow sign is showing the direction of force on the current carrying conductor. So the conclusion is that whenever a current carrying conductor is kept in magnetic field, it will experience a magnetic force. Now question arises, what will be the direction of force? So here we see the direction of force on a current carrying conductor can be easily determined with the help of Fleming's left hand rule. So over here you can see a diagram. So according to that, if we stretch our left hand, okay, left hand in such a way that the thumb, the index finger and middle finger, okay, all three are perpendicular to each other. Remember that all three are perpendicular to each other. Then if index finger shows the direction of magnetic field, this is the direction of magnetic field shown by the index finger, and middle finger that shows the direction of electric current, then thumb will show the direction of force. Again I am repeating, if we stretch our left hand in such a way that thumb, index finger, middle finger, they are perpendicular to each other. Index finger shows the direction of magnetic field, middle finger shows the direction of electric current, then thumb will point the direction of force on the conductor. So in this figure you can see the index finger is pointing from north to south, okay, and current in the conductor is from, you can consider it as along the length of the conductor from A to B. So you can see the thumb is pointing up, so direction of force on the conductor will be up. So I hope the Fleming's left hand rule is clear to all of you. Now over here the statement is shown in front of you, which is given in the NCERT. So let us read that statement so that you can understand in a better way. So according to this rule, the strength, if we stretch the thumb, forefinger, middle finger of the left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular, if the first finger points in the direction of magnetic field and the second finger in the direction of currents, then the thumb will point the direction of magnetic force acting on the conductor. You can see this diagram is available in NCERT. Thumb is pointing the force in which the conductor will move. The index finger, that will show the direction of magnetic field, and the middle finger will show the direction of electric current. So this you have to write in exam if Fleming's left hand rule is asked. Now over here we are going to discuss the example which is given in NCERT. The question is that electron enters in a magnetic field at right angles, and the diagram shown is here 13.14. What is the direction of force acting on the electron? So over here, students, first of all, electron is moving downwards, so the direction of current will be vertically upwards. Now if we use our left hand rule, okay, according to that left hand rule, if you put your index finger vertically upwards, okay, index finger vertically upwards, and then magnetic field, according to this, if we put our middle finger vertically upwards and index fingers towards right side, so you will find your thumb is pointing inwards. So the force on this electrons will be vertically inwards. You can say downward over here. So here you can see to the right, to the left, out of the paper, into the paper. So right now we discuss it will be into the paper. Okay, D is the correct option. Now over here again I am explaining the solution, how you will write if it is asked in 2 marks question or 1 mark question. So the direction of force is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field and current as given by Fleming's left hand rule. So here with the help of Fleming's left hand rule, you can find the direction of force is pointing towards. Now in text question we are going to discuss. The first question is, which of the following property of a proton can have changed while it moves freely in a magnetic field? So see which properties they are asking: the mass, speed, velocity and momentum. Students, remember that whenever a charged particle is entering in magnetic field, its velocity and momentum will change. Why? Because it will experience a magnetic force. So due to force, the direction of velocity will change, and if velocity direction is changing, momentum is the product of mass and velocity. So velocity is changing, so momentum will also change. And what will be remain same? The mass of object, speed of object, as well as the kinetic energy of the charged particle, all will be same. Remember that a question can be asked on the basis of this concepts also. Here we saw that the option C and D will be correct. Now the next in-text question, C. Now in activity 13.7, the rod means current carrying conductor was deflected. Now how it will be affected, it is given. So first thing, remember that the force on a current carrying conductor depends on the amount of current passing through it, depends on the length of the conductor, depends on the magnetic field in which it is kept. So first one is current in the rod AB is increased. If current is increased, you can see the magnetic force will increase. So the first answer is that if the current is increased, the force will also increase. Second one, the strong horseshoe magnet is used. Now if more is the magnetic field, again you can see more will be the force. So second answer will be that the magnetic force will increase. Third one, length of the rod is increased. Again you can see this is the length of the rod. If it is increased, the force is directly proportional to that. So magnetic force is also going to increase. Now the third index question. A positive charged particle, alpha particle, is projected towards west. So first of all, we will make here it is east, west, north and south, and the magnetic field not towards north. So initially the alpha particle is moving towards west, but it is deflected towards the north by a magnetic field. So the direction of magnetic field will be, now over here this is the direction of force, and because alpha particle is positive charge particle, so direction of current will be along west, or you can say from east to west. This is the direction of force. Now if we use Fleming's left hand rule, so you have to put your middle finger from east to west, force vertically upwards, means from south to north. In that case you will find that the magnetic field, it must be vertically upward. Okay, so whenever the magnetic field will be vertically upward, then the force will be towards north on the positive charge particle. Now students, we are going to discuss about the electric motor. What is an electric motor? Electric motor, it is a rotating device which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Now, what are the uses of electric motors? Electric motors, it is a component in the electric fans, refrigerators, mixer, washing machines, computer, MP3 players, DVD players. Okay. Now, if we talk about the construction part of an electric motor, so here you can see a frame is there, A, B, C, D. A rectangular frame is there, which is made up of copper coil, which consists lot of number of turns, and this is known as armature. This armature is connected with two metallic brushes X and Y. Okay, these are the metallic brushes. Now, these metallic brushes are in contact with two semicircular rings which are known as split rings P and Q. Okay. Now, this X and Y are connected with external source of current, a battery B, and here a key. This armature is free to rotate with respect to an axle. Axle is similar to like you might have seen in the trucks and the cars, the front wheel or the rear wheels, they are connected with a rod which is axle. So here with respect to this axle, this armature is going to rotate, and this armature is kept between north and south pole of a strong magnet. So this was the construction of electric motor. Now we are going to discuss about the working of electric motor. So over here with the help of this diagram, it will be very clear to all of you about the working. So here you can see this is the plus terminal, this is minus terminal of battery when the current is passing through it. So this is in the contact to the metallic brush over here or carbon brush. This one is that complete part, this is carbon brush. These are the split rings. Okay, suppose this is Q and this is P. Now when the current is passing over here, you can see this is the direction of current. Okay, now the direction of current is from, suppose this is, we say P to Q, and the magnetic field is from north pole to south pole. So if we use the Fleming's left hand rule, the force on this will be downwards. Okay, so PQ part is experiencing a force, magnetic force vertically downwards. And in this next part, if suppose it is RS, so over here the direction of current is from R to S, the magnetic field still from the north to south. So again, if we use Fleming's left hand rule, the direction of force on this SR part will be vertically upwards. So after half rotation, what will happen? This PQ part, the PQ part over here of the coil will come in contact to the first split ring, and this RS part will come in contact to second split ring. So now the direction of current will get reversed. Okay, so again on the coil, now this will be SR portion, so here force will be down, and this one will be PQ where the force will be up, so it will rotate in clockwise direction, and it is repeated again and again, and in this way the electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. So students, we have covered a lot of things in this video, and I will provide you one more video before the exam, and one practice paper will be also along with this. So practice it a lot and watch the video again and again until and unless all the concepts are clear to you. I hope you like this video. Kindly share it with your friends and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.